Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, where the magic happens, where we have conversations around spiritual authority and midlife reinvention from a spiritual perspective. So today I have my guest Charlotte Friborg is here. Oh my God, Charlotte, I am so grateful that you're here because this is Charlotte's second time with me over the years. It's been so many years. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to read her bio and let you know what she does. So she is a master certified coach, NLP master practitioner, best-selling author, and speaker who guides women to create work in and a way of living that actually fits who they are. With a background in recruiting, team building, and more than 2 decades of personal and professional growth, Charlotte blends grounded strategy with deep inner work. Her work is rooted in what she calls expanded living, learning to stay grounded in uncertain times, think for yourself, move forward with clarity and self trust. She supports women in building confidence, taking aligned action, and creating success on their own terms. And I will link all of her social media and website with you on the show notes. So, Charlotte, let's talk a little bit. Your work centers on helping women stop waiting for permission. What does reclaiming spiritual authority look like for a woman in midlife who has spent decades following rules that were never hers?
Mm, Such a good question. And you know what? I think the easy answer is it's individual for everybody because we are all different. And I I think this is actually what I really liked. There's no one single recipe that fits all. So that can maybe have us feel like, oh my gosh, what then? What about all the books? What about all the programs? What about all the offers out there? There are things that we can learn from everybody. I believe that. I truly believe that. We can learn something from everyone we meet in life.
Yes,
And the one thing that I have found, especially in recent years, that I find helps everybody is that we get to know ourselves. At, and what does that mean? One of the tools I have started working with in recent years is human design. Some people
yes.
may never have heard about it. It's like, what is she talking about? And I don't want to, we're not going in deep into it, but just quickly, it's like, because of my background, I've been exposed to many different ways of testing people or making assessments.
Yes,
And this one here, I would find is the most profound and accurate tool. Now, not everybody have a yes or feel like a pull towards that.
yes,
And there are other ways we can get to know each other. But one of the things that I find, and I really will speak for any time, is that we start to recognize that voice inside of us. We all have it.
yes,
It's unique for everyone. So the way it speaks to me, different, won't be the same as to you and anybody listening. We all got to find out what that voice is and begin to trust it. And that can be a process.
yes,
Yeah, that can be a
yes,
process. But I would say, oh my gosh, I can't count how many times in my life where it's just been spot on and it has guided me to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. And also the times where my logic mind, that patriarchy trained part of me that I'm supposed to do it this way, it's better to do that, all the other people's opinions
yes,
come in the way as noise and had me doubt it or be afraid of it or like um and that's just when things take longer. And this is not about that faster is better. I don't think necessarily it is, but it's
right.
about finding our own pace. And that's different for everybody.
Yes,
That's different for some, like here, like, and that's what we will start when we start to get to know ourselves, to find out that for some, being out there, initiating, sharing new ideas is the thing. For
Yes.
others, it's more like, wait, get the invitation, having that wisdom, but not just speak out, like, and wait till the invitation is there. Hey, Suzanne, do you want to share what you're thinking? And then that's the thing. And I think, and that, so there are all these different ways we can show up smartest and wisest when we start to get to know that pattern in us
Yes.
that's natural for us, which is so different and unique. And one of the fastest way to find out about that, I have found, is through human design. So then when we start to reinvent ourselves, not just can we start to try, like, how many of us really knew when we were little? Like, not everybody, but many of us, like, we at least we knew what lit us up, what we enjoyed doing. And it doesn't mean that we had, because that's also different. Some will know from early on, this is what I
Yes.
want to do, and I want to do it for the rest of my life, and they do.
Right.
Where others, it's more about jumping, and that's the path, and there's nothing wrong in that. So when we can start to distinguish these different ways that it's okay to show up in life, that
Yes.
we're actually meant to do life different. That's when we can, I mean, not just not doubt that inner voice. I call it my inner authority, right? That inner authority, we
Yes.
all have it, the unique voice.
Yes.
Not just doubt that, but also, and that's the next thing. And I know this is something you work, and we had a little chat before about that thing, that we are all connected. None of us are living separate lives, but so we can start in this connection, this play with other people in life,
Yes.
to not feel threatened or not compare.
Yes.
And oh my God, it just, I find that that gives the freedom inside of us, the peace inside of us, to feel more complete as we are
Yes.
right here and now in this
Yes.
present moment with all the stuff going on in our life.
Yes.
Come back to now, being present with now, and accept, like, start there, and and take action. And that's where I find that the magic happens, when we want to, also when we want to reinvent in life
I
later.
love
And
it. I love
yeah.
it. I love it. Um, I love human design as well. I am a reflector 2/4.
Are you a reflector too?
Yes.
For
Yes.
oh my, okay. I'm excited for us to, yeah. When I start my podcast and conversations, you definitely are. Oh my gosh. I feel like draw the lucky number here. You are rare.
I know.
It's
You
1%
know
of the population are
what's
reflectors.
wild is I have a friend that is also a reflector. I think
Really?
5/1, I think she said.
Oh my
And I
God.
thought that was so neat because when I meet people and I tell them that, they say, wait, you're a reflector? And then they want to do my chart. And I said, yeah, look it up.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, and that's been a journey because I
Oh
noticed
yeah.
that, and then my kids are both manifesting generators.
Whoa. And your husband, do you know his design?
He's a manifester.
Wow.
And you know what's wild about that is him. Like he is a manifester. That is who he is. Like we did a whole video. I recorded it of him talking about how he just believes he's supposed to get what he wants. And
Mm.
when people, don't want to give it to him, then he knows that something greater and bigger is coming.
Mm.
But that's the way he thinks, even before we discovered human design and all of that. But that is just him. And so I was like, that is so wild. Now, me, I struggle with the reflector a little bit because I
Yeah.
noticed that there were times when I would be acting like a manifesting generator and wonder why I didn't have any energy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not a manifesting generator. I cannot do that.
No,
It's like,
absolutely not.
Right. And I
Yes.
fought it for years, even before I knew.
Yeah.
Looking back when I sit down and journal and look back and I say, wow, I knew I was different all these years and, always, the black sheep and, the one that's kind of a little bit out there.
Yes.
But now I realize, what a gift it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a gift. I have one friend who is a reflector, and talking to her and hearing her story when she learned about it and how she then could start to plan her life around it. So for those who may listening who have no idea what human design is, you can run your chart. There are many platforms, various
Yeah.
platforms where you can do
Just
it. I don't
Google
know,
it.
maybe
Yeah.
we should share that also in the play notes, but
Yeah.
you
We can
can
do
get
that.
from knowing your day and time and location of birth, you can run your chart. And I would be honored to do it if anybody wants to. And I'm actually finishing up a little mini booklet, just a little taste to go over the types and that authority thing we started talking about. And it was so unique to write about the reflector part because I have not, it's 1% of the population.
Right.
So it's such a rare pearl you are. And and yeah, so it's I have to can I ask you a question? I know I'm here,
Yes.
but
Yes.
how did it feel for you when what was the thing that you, because the world is here almost to teach us all to be manifestors, right? I'm an emotional generator, profile 4/6 emotional generator.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll just share my own aha when I learned about that, and also that. So in human design, there are 9 centers. It's kind of like the chakra system, but it's not.
Right.
But just for those who have never seen what it is, like what are they talking about? But the throat center, mine is totally open, not a gate. Where
Okay. Gotcha.
you have all centers
Open.
open, right? And that's why we receive everything is open. Super sensitive, like you get affected by your environment so much. So it's so important to find nature and have places to go and recharge and restore and all of, right?
Hence why I live at the ocean.
I thought that because I
Because
knew
that is
that from
my
our
happy
conversations
place.
before. So smart.
I think about it and I say, why wouldn't it be? Because I am a Scorpio sun and a Pisces moon
Okay.
and a Leo rising.
Oh, wow.
So when I looked at all of that, I was like, whoa, no one. Because, my favorite place to be, because I tell people, I said, I know I photograph as an extrovert, but I'm not that. I say I am a true
No.
introvert. My favorite place to be is right here in this office in my house.
Right. What was your profile again?
Um,
Do
two,
you
four?
remember? 2 4. Okay, yeah, 2 is all about privacy. 4 is about networking, however. So
Yes,
that's probably why you enjoy your podcast.
yes, yes, I
Connecting
do.
with people, deep conversations. That's all
Yes,
what the fourth line is about. Okay, that makes sense. But
yes,
yeah, 2 is all about privacy.
yeah,
And whenever you, like a hermit crab, right? They
yes,
pull
yes,
into that shell. And whenever you do that, that's when you become even more magnetic because you honor that line.
yes.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. Okay.
You're so welcome.
So anybody who listens, I can share that that was really so. I personally have a very, very unique, so much in my design that also points it out that I have a unique intuition and I am a mystic. So when
Yes,
I'm
you
with
are.
people, so I've always had that ability since I was very young. And so
Yes,
we started having friends and we're talking about what we wanted to do with our life. I had that ability to just listen deeply. And when someone talked about what he or she really wanted, I kind of could feel like inside of me, oh, is this true? Is this true? And I could say that. And there was something about my undefined throat, like for people to be listened through that.
yes,
Sounds weird,
yes.
right? How do you listen with your throat?
Right.
But to be received and then reflect back, all my other centers are defined. So we are actually very opposite in a way. But um, there was just, but then when I got the tool human design, I felt I can imagine the day when before doctors had X-rays and MRIs, right?
Yes,
They
yes,
may have a clear idea what's going on
right,
because of symptoms and patterns and things
right.
they have learned, right? But then when they got access to this new technology,
Yes,
it's so much easier to say, this is what's going on. So human design is, of course, it's not to point out where something is wrong, where we say it's more like this is who you are.
yes,
Like as a soul being in this lifetime. And I have felt for myself that it's like it's faster to cut through the noise of all the limiting beliefs, when I work with someone, because as they talk, I can sit and point out, you see, this is why. And if I hear them, for example, if they come because they want to, um, I had one woman, she almost gave up her business.
oh
And it
my
was so
goodness.
sad because it was so unique. She was a projector. So not a lot of sustainable energy like you know
Hmm.
defined. It's called sacral. So anyhow, and I learned about, and I was like, have you done networking? I asked her, oh, no, 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 she said. And I felt there was something. I could see that the X-ray, right? The body graph of human, I could say that this told me that there was potential for her there. But here's the thing, we can have our time, but it's we all have unique living experiences that we bring with us. So
Yes,
sometimes we just need to cut through all that noise to come back and see
yes.
our true potential, with
Mhm.
our lived wisdom, right? So it's not about, and that's, I want to embrace it all. I
Yeah.
really want to embrace, and I
Well,
think that's what really polishes our human design is when we act on our lived experience, our
yes,
struggles, our victories, everything.
yes. Our
That's
neutral in betweens, where it
yes.
doesn't look like anything is happening, but you're still doing the work, and yeah, that part. But what for human design for me, I realized because I'm a person that likes to sample, and I didn't realize until I started studying, my human design, and I was like, oh, I'm a sampler. That's why I do that. I do that with food. Like I eat. I'm a little thick, but people are like, oh, I don't eat a lot. I eat a little bit and I taste this and taste that. And I've always done that all my life. And with jobs, now I was a nurse for 32 years and I have worked probably almost that many jobs. And so I realized that that's just who I am. And it wasn't bad for me, because I know that I was never a person, I never saw myself retiring except when I was going to go in the military. And that was the purpose for that. Because I said if I go to the Naval Academy, then I can retire in 20 years and have a good retirement and not have to work again and be able to do whatever I wanted to do. This was my mindset at that time. But once I saw the human design, I was like, oh, this is why. Because I'll get it. I mean, I always had jobs. So I like would get one. I might be there 2 years, three, 4 sometimes. I think the longest I was with any job was 6 or 7. But while I was at that job, I had usually 2 more jobs, you know? And so I realized that it's just me that I get bored and then I get tired of the people and I get
Mm.
tired of the politics, all the things. And I noticed, and I used to feel it. Like I could feel it coming on like 6 months before it did. And then by
Wow.
then it was like, okay, it's time for you to go. You need a different set of people, especially if it was someplace like the nursing homes where you have the same people every day and you usually work with the same staff on the same schedules and all of this. And for me,
Mm.
it was like that felt like death after a while.
Oh yeah, you like nature. You
I
you
I
like as a
do.
reflector, you're like nature. You got like no, I can tell
Oh,
that's a
I can't
recipe for
wait till
burnout.
I can't wait till the sun is out so I can go outside and go to the beach.
Yeah.
I'm
Mm.
like, I try to walk the beach. I try to do it every day if I can.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no, I'm like, nah, I can't just be in one space. It never worked for me. And I was like, wow. And even like housing and places. I've lived all over this country. I lived all up the East Coast, and now I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I love the best. But,
Mm.
but I noticed that that is just me. So what it did for me was it gave me grace to give myself
Yeah.
because I just thought I was crazy and everybody else did too.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
daddy would say, okay, I don't know, where are you now? I don't know where you're gonna be.
Yeah.
But it was freedom for me.
When did you find out, Tammy? How long ago?
Mm, Lord, probably around the time that we talked,
So
somewhere
we
around that
talked
year, I
end
think.
of 2019.
So
Okay.
somewhere in 2019, I think.
Yeah.
Quote me now,
And
because
so about the same time, I started diving into human design in 2020. That's when I
so,
started to
so
learn it, and
what?
I'm certified to, yeah.
I was gonna say, what drew you to that?
What drew me to it?
Yeah.
Well, I was in a mastermind with other authors through the business coach, and publisher I work with. And there I met a woman who ended up being, I mean, she's a very close friend of mine. We talk every week, have a weekly check-in, but she's teaching human design. And she said, Charlotte, you need to know your human design. And she did my first session where I really had a few significant aha moments. So it's through her I've studied and been certified, and I've been an assistant teacher there also. So yeah.
That's
So it was through
powerful.
through community with line 4. That's all community.
That is so
And and
powerful.
and talking about line 4, I realized I didn't finish. I just want to quickly finish that story about that lady where I saw you had line 4. Networking might be something to consider, and she
Yeah.
reflected it as a business strategy. And then we dived in and said, I kept going back. It's like, tell me about your experience. And then she suddenly remembered when she was a little girl, they traveled a lot because her dad was in the military. And particularly one place where she had enjoyed so much and built this amazing, beautiful community around dance. And it was the best time of her life. And then the family once again had to move. And that was a moment, it was so painful for her because she lost that community where she really had that time of her life. That was a moment where she, without consciously, but unconsciously, made the decision it's too painful to be engaged in community. So I'm never doing that again.
I get it.
That's how powerful our lived experience can be until we start to realize that, okay, and that was a protective way of reacting at a time. And now we can let that go, cut the cords, heal that,
Yes.
grow up, like surrender, whatever. There's so many words to
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And she leaned into, she said, so I said, okay, so then she tried and she got her energy back. And I think that's just so that was I don't think I would have caught that had I not had human design there. I might have found other ways, but it was kind of that fast track or short more into like, you have this skill here, you have this in you. And right, I don't think I would have come to that conclusion or awareness without having her body graph in front of me when we were working together. So
See, that's amazing to me that you connect that with her lived experience because I get that. I was the same
yeah,
as she
yeah,
was. We moved all the time. And so, and back in those days, there was no social media, no cell phones. You couldn't stay connected unless you wrote letters or you called on the expensive phone. You
oh
know,
yeah,
you had to
yeah,
pay for long distance and all that back in those days.
yeah,
So yeah, so you didn't often, build community like, and after a while, you got to a place where you didn't even try because you knew you were going to just move,
yeah.
go to another
Wow.
school and this kind of stuff. So I get that. And that's something
I
that
can
I have
see that.
released and healed within myself
Wow.
because I didn't realize how it affected me until I really started doing this work.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, okay, all right, okay, okay, because people say, well, I mean, you could have stayed friends with them. I'm like, yeah, but you get tired of writing letters. I was like, and talking on the phone, you get whippings for that.
Yeah.
Did you see
Yeah.
this phone bill?
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So I can get that, and I can see how you could connect those dots,
Yes.
and that to me is what is missing from some people that do human design work.
Well, it's I no matter what I have learned in life, and this is I'm born to be practical. Like without going on into all the details of the gates and planets and all of that. But I
Right.
know that, and I have known that for quite a few years. And human design landed it even more, like it confirmed it. Like, oh, that's why I don't want to just learn things and not apply it. But I really like to, how can I use it? How can I use it? Why is this good to know? That's so so I don't enjoy as much giving what some people call readings. That's not me. No, I'm here to let's find the information that you can use here and now and use it. I mean, everything else I find is waste of time. The information we need will come to us when we need it. So, and today with AI and technology, you can just put in you can get all these readings for free, like
AI
spam.
is amazing. I mean, people say what they want about it, but I believe
Yeah.
that
But
it
I think
can expand
there's
consciousness.
nothing, and there's nothing more powerful than when humans meet
Yes,
and when we learn to be in presence with each
yes,
other and
yes,
really like have that clarity in us, know ourselves, see the other person with no filter, no stories, no assumption, like just and receive each other.
yes.
There's so much AI cannot, computers cannot replace that.
No, they can't.
So I am not afraid of like we need that connection. Um, yeah.
I,
So nothing can replace that human connection
I
and
think COVID
intuition.
taught us that. COVID, because
Mm,
we were all, they wanted us to be all separate, 6 feet
yeah.
apart, and all this other kind of stuff. And we're really not built for that because so many
No.
people, um, I worked in a detox and mental health place. And so at that, when it first started, and so we would get a lot of people when they shut everything down, they would come in suicidal
Mm.
because they were missing connections,
Oh yeah.
and as I thought about that and I was like, wow. And it looks like that's something they're trying to do again, but I didn't think that was good even then. I felt like it was a whole, um, I don't want to use this word, but a whole big thing that they do,
Yeah.
and I think there were gifts in it, and there were stuff that I never want to deal with again.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's like, no,
Mm.
it's like the mask. I was like, they didn't protect us. We all still got COVID, most of us. No, those
Mm.
that didn't. My son never got it. His girlfriend got it 3 times. Not
Mm.
his wife. He never got it the whole time. My
Yeah.
dad, I think he got it last year. And he said he didn't even know he had it. They tested him before he went to work.
Yeah.
And he said it was like a cold. I said, oh, okay. My mama got it 3 times, and it was like
Yeah.
a whole thing. And then it's just, I don't want to talk about that anyway. So I have one
Yeah.
last question that I ask every one of my guests, and it is, if there was anything that you could change in the world, what would that be and why?
Ah, I love that. And I think it's possible. I truly believe it in my heart. The one thing I would like to change is for every person. to learn to stop more during the day and learn the skill of being present. Because when we are present, we can hear that voice in us that's telling us, this is your next step. This is your next step. This is where you shall go. Whatever we call it, God's voice, divine, our intuition, I call it our inner authority.
Yes.
And it's very clear. But our job, and I have something I say more and more, living in the present moment is no longer a luxury, it's our responsibility, because that's the way we connect with ourselves.
Yes.
And when we can connect with ourselves, we can connect with others.
Yes.
And when we lose that connection, what happens is we disconnect with ourselves, we disconnect with others, we start to not listen deeply.
Yes.
That's where fear starts to come in, because we lose trust. So the one thing, at least just one time, 3 times, whenever you think about, learn some skills, and there are different skills we can do to get into the present moment. But and you can Google that.
Right,
Like you
right.
have, it's if so I'm not going into that, but there's different ways we can do it. But practice that one thing,
Yes.
and you always have that as the most powerful way to come back to yourself, and then start trust the messages that come. Start trust them. Start in a safe way. Sometimes it can be wild. It can be bring up, oh my God, I don't think I'm ready for that. So just don't. That's okay. But just start listen, because I believe that's how we will heal the world, and
Oh,
that's
I
how we
love
will
it.
start connect and be able to love
Yes.
even our enemies. There are no enemies. We are all one, right?
No, because we're
But
one.
yes, yeah,
I love that. I love that. I can't I can't tell you how much I love that because that is what we need. That's what we need,
yeah,
you
so
know?
much,
And
so
I think
much.
about it, I say, the Bible has a scripture that says, love thy neighbor as thyself. And I'm like, it's so simple, but if
Mm,
people would do it, we wouldn't have all of this craziness out here.
no.
Because you're not going to love yourself in a different way than you love your neighbor. You love your neighbor as yourself.
Mm,
So that to me, that does it for us. And I love the fact that you brought out presence because that's one of those things that I started about 2 years ago on that. Just really being present in every way and everything. And it's not easy. It's challenging at times, because especially if you're a person that is used to having 50,000 things in your head, 24/8. You have to consciously shut it down. Like I tell myself at night, it's time to go to sleep. You can think about that tomorrow or the
yeah,
next day or
yeah,
never.
yeah, yes,
Oh my God, it's been so
yeah,
amazing having you here, Charlotte. Um, and this one was even better than the last one. The last one was good, but this one, I'm just loving it, and I'm loving your evolution and your growth.
mm. Thank you, Tammy. And I mean, we both have grown
Yeah.
6.5 years, or however long. That does a lot to women, right? So every woman who listens to this, I want you to trust yourself. And if you feel guided, to do that, you support women in reinvention and starting just, oh, yes, trust it,
Yes.
trust it,
Yes,
trust
that
it.
is the
Thank you so
thing.
much. It was such a, I know we will talk more. I know we will stay connected.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. Uh, but yes, we're going to land this plane. So I'm just grateful that you have come on the show today. And for everyone that's listening, all of her details will be in the show notes. I'll also include a link to a human design chart so that you can grab yours and look at it. And then maybe reach out to Charlotte and get you a session. That way she can explain it and, go over everything. And I think that is important that you get a good person to go over that with you and share because the first human design reading I had was phenomenal. And I am so grateful forever to the young lady that did it. And she gave me a detailed report. So I have this whole long report that I still go back and look at. And then I actually reached out to her and I said, listen, girl, I finally understand this. It's been a couple of years since we did this, but I finally understand this part because I didn't get the environment part because I'm like, what are you talking about? You live in a house, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I realized, we were in this little apartment in the city, and I realized I felt like I was going crazy. I was like, I can't do this much longer. I told my husband one day, I said, I can't do this much longer. And I kept saying,
Oh my gosh, no, not as a reflector. I think you picked your right spot where you are.
oh my God. I'm like, so he said, well, okay. So then we came out here and started looking and, found a nice house and everything. And I've been at peace. And I'm so
Mm.
excited and grateful that I had that knowledge too, to understand because I can see it all in, like we were talking about, even our appetite. We don't even eat as much.
Mm.
Still buy food because my husband is number two of 11 children. So my refrigerator is almost always full, even though it's just me
Interesting.
and him,
Interesting. Yeah.
right?
Talk about stories we bring with
Right.
us. Yes.
But it's
Yeah,
amazing though. And I'm just so grateful. And I can see some collaborations in the future.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much for reconnecting, Tammy. I
Yes.
really appreciate it.
Yes, no,
Yeah,
no worries. I've just enjoyed you. So again, y'all, thank you for watching or listening to Straight Out of Savannah, wherever you are watching or listening. Make sure that you like, share, um, and download the episodes. That'll really help this channel grow, which is, my purpose. And, I hope that you enjoyed Charlotte and I's conversation today. And make sure you stay tuned for the next one.